Today is, what is today?
Today is the 28th, and it's a Thursday.
Actually, I just
Wednesday.
I just met Swan maybe about 30 minutes ago, right?
Yes.
And I got my arm around you.
He's already hitting on me. Can you see this? He's saying he can give me all the free carrots
Forget it.
I want.
No, I don't want to say that.
He's
Anyway,
like the free carrots,
the
like
free
bling,
carrots.
bling. Okay.
Anyway, Swan is raw, 70% raw, right?
About 70%.
And I was talking to you earlier, I asked you if you want to do a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you said only if it's funny. No.
Only if it's funny and
Good.
I get to do my booty dance.
Oh, wow. I don't want to watch.
Oh, wow.
Good.
I have the greatest booty dance ever. I learned from my mentor. Her name's Michelle. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. I'm
You
not gonna
in
say
there?
it.
Good. Okay, watch.
She's
No.
really nice. She has a nice ass.
Oh,
too.
good. I know. Good.
I
good.
know. He said, I know. You've seen it too, right?
No, I didn't see it.
know, but
Good. Why don't you explain what happened to you in Costa Rica and why you went to Costa Rica, and maybe about the monarchs, about your whole vision of what we talked earlier.
Well, okay, so the reason why I wanted to go to Costa Rica was originally because I was at a point in my life where I just broke up with a serious boyfriend that I thought that I could possibly marry.
Wow.
I was in a really stressful work environment. Even though I loved the work I was doing, it was just really stressful, and I just didn't really have an appreciation of the moment of really living, and I wanted to get back to that. And I felt like being someplace I didn't know anybody, you know, and it was tropical and warm, and with the ocean. I know that I love ocean.
Right.
I've always been a water baby person. I just felt like that would be a good kind of transition for me.
So you decided to leave everything that you had?
I left everything.
Everything.
I dropped everything.
Dropped
I quit
everything.
my job.
You quit your job.
I broke up with my boyfriend.
Broke up with your boyfriend.
I got rid of all of my material possessions.
You threw everything out and just start from life afresh.
Yes.
And you chose?
And I chose Costa Rica.
And why?
Because of they have fresh food there,
Right.
which is something that
That was something that was the big draw with the fresh fruit.
Well, yeah, because
But you weren't raw.
I wasn't raw at all.
Felt that you
and
had
I
to
felt like I had to eat 3 meals a day because I've been taught that my entire life. Huh?
Good.
You changed your diet from bread. It was a huge drastic
yeah,
change.
okay. And so I was always taught that, you know, on the pyramid, the food pyramid, they have grains on the bottom to signify that's how much you need to eat. And then you have, you know, fruits and vegetables, and then you have sweets and all that other stuff.
Were you overweight at the time?
Huh?
Were you overweight?
I was overweight. I was really big, and like my face was very
You were
bloated.
really big?
I was really
What
big.
does big look like?
I mean, I'm a big girl, but I wasn't very healthy. I wasn't exercising, and I didn't feel like I could live a raw lifestyle. I didn't think it was possible.
But you decided to go to Costa Rica just to live on fruit then?
That was one of the reasons,
Wow.
was because I knew that I thought that I could like climb a tree and just get fruit from there, or like there'd be like weed just growing on the side of the road and stuff like that. Like I really had a vision of what Costa Rica was going to be like, and I went there because I knew it was going to be fresh there. It was fresh. Yeah, I was by myself, and I just knew that it was going to be the best greenery stuff that I could find there, you know, and it was just simple living, which is another thing that I wanted to get back to. It was just simply living just to live, and only needing or getting as much as I needed. But I didn't know that was all that I was going to learn when I went there. When I went there, I learned so much about how, growing up as an American, how we're taught that we need to eat so much, and that everything is surrounded by your food intake. You know, if you sit down and have dinner with your family, they're eating whatever they're eating, and it's so meat driven, you know. And I wasn't really like a meat person, but I just wanted to get away from all that and see a different life to live, you know. And then that was what I learned. I learned a lot about raw foods there.
So you went to Costa Rica and found out about raw food, and then you decided to make the change?
I met someone down there too.
A guy?
It was a girl. It was this sexy ass girl that had like a big old booty, and like it was perfect. And I was just like, how do I get a booty like that? And she was like, eat lots of bananas, punta. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat some bananas. I'm like, I don't know, I've never heard of like eating 10 bananas a day.
Right.
I was like, how do you stay full? Like, how do you stay full without bread?
So she was your inspiration.
Yeah.
She was your inspiration because you want to be like her, you want to have a body like hers. And you said, in order for me to have a body like her, this is what I got to do.
Well, yeah, I just
That was
really
the
wanted to
key
get in
point.
bed with her. That's
Wow.
really what I was trying to do, and I knew that I had to be
Wow.
way more sexier than that.
Wow,
you
that's
know,
pretty
because
heavy
she,
duty.
yeah.
This should be. This should be.
Well, she did give it up to me after a while.
Oh
You
my
know,
God.
when I got all sexy again.
Okay.
But that's because she knew I was, you know, I was eating good raw food, and she
Right.
was just like, I can deal
Right.
with you now. You know,
Right.
so I did it just mainly because I was trying to get at this one girl.
Oh, right.
But I dropped her
me?
as soon as I went back. I was so sexy, all the girls wanted me.
Okay.
I'm really straight though. I'm
really
not.
straight?
Yeah.
You're
I'm
lying.
strictly dickly.
Oh my gosh. This is second. It's the highest.
This is hardcore.
This is hardcore.
Don't have me
I've
just-
never
you
heard
have-
this before in
You
my
you have to.
700
you have to
videos.
get
It's the
me
first time I ever heard
strictly
words.
dickly,
Yeah. Even the other stuff.
strictly thickly. That's
We never even heard. We never even go there. I mean, that could
I
be.
know.
It could be.
But you know,
way
there's
to go.
something so sexy about raw foods that it just comes up. Like you just
In
become
other words,
sexier when you
you
eat raw
think that
foods.
this is a keep. Your hands are cold, by the way.
I know. My hands are always cold, but that feels nice.
Right. We can talk about it later because cold hands means still too much fat in the system.
I have a lot of fat in my system.
Right. Right. I mean, too much fat that you're eating. That will go away.
I only really eat bananas and other stuff, but I lost a lot of weight.
You lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, I did. I lost a whole lot of weight, especially I was in a relationship that didn't really support
Right.
healthy eating.
By the way, as a girl, would you only look for a relationship that supports your healthy eating?
I
would you
know now,
Would you
though,
consider
yeah.
like a meat eater, like when you consider unless you?
I mean, there's a certain extent, like
Right.
I can't change and necessarily would want to change the
Right.
way someone
Right.
eats naturally. I'm not going
Right.
to pressure them into eating something differently.
Right.
But I do require someone to have certain morals when it comes to food that just
Right.
can't be compromised on.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be with someone that has to skimp on their food. I really want to have someone that'll be like, you know, I really want the best food possible for
Right.
my body because I want to
Right.
be healthy
Right.
for you and our family when we get older.
Right.
Instead of having all these health problems
Right.
that you could have stopped or
Right,
could have
easy.
prevented when
Right.
you were younger. You know, so it definitely decides whether I'm serious about someone or not, you know, because I like all sorts of sexy people, you
All
know,
right.
but I think that it's a lot more sexier and attractive when they are really conscious about what they're eating and putting into their bodies.
You're wearing sexy clothes, but
I'm not really, but you know, anything I wear is sexy.
okay. Now we talked about in the moment, and you're talking about have you seen the difference in your writing since you went well? By the way,
What?
we talked. You said one of the goals was for in your writing you want to be in the moment.
Yes.
Have you seen a difference in your writing since you went well?
In my writing, since I've read raw.
Because you talked about you initially read a children's book about monarchs.
No, you know what?
No, I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I have a lot more joy, like just
more joy.
simple joy during the day, and I have a lot more inspiration. That I can say I have a lot more drive
More drive
Yeah.
to be in the moment.
to be in the moment, to express myself fully of
Right.
who I
You
am.
definitely express yourself fully.
Yes. Well, I
Definitely.
try to. I mean, it's a process of
Right.
reprogramming yourself into being more free.
Totally.
That's like something totally different, you
Right.
know. I talk with my hands a
So
lot. I'm
do I.
very expressive.
Oh, good. So we're all together.
I grew up in the hood.
Okay, so I grew up in the hood too.
Yeah,
I
what
did.
hood?
I was the only white boy in an all-black neighborhood in North Philly.
Nice.
And I went to high school. I was only 5 foot when I went to high school. Hey man, what's up?
And they probably
They laughed at me
loved
because
you.
it
Yeah.
was an all Jewish school.
Yeah.
And I
Arnold's
was
is
a,
cool.
and I was a hoodie. I could only play with the little hoodies. There's 5 other black kids, and I was the 6th one.
But you know, I love that. I love to see
I was a little hoodie.
multicultural
Yeah.
beginnings.
Okay, so we have to wrap it up
Part
because
two.
it's wrap 2.
Yeah,
1 second.
part one.
Since she's hot and sexy. Bye.